Hello, everyone, and happy Wednesday, because today's Wednesday, and it is 6:04 Eastern. Thank you all very much for joining. Um, I was supposed to be joined today by Justin Peacock, who has a podcast of his own called Bonfire Banter, but something came up on his end. So we are going to need to reschedule that. But, you know, I'm here. So I did think that I'd hop on and say hello. Um, Let everybody know what we've got going on coming up. I'm just kind of checking my calendar because that's important. Tomorrow, Thursday, we have a gentleman, Mark Gold. That's Mark with a C. He will be joining, and we will have the show at 5 o'clock. Mark is a philanthropist. Holy shit. Philanthropist, I guess you would say. He has been helping the poor and helping the needy for over 30 years, all over the world. So now that he has kind of settled in the States, we're going to be talking to him tomorrow about, this state of charity and things like that. So that'll be tomorrow at 5. That will certainly be a very fun time. And I do have a show coming up on Friday for Site Hub, which is where I work. And that will be with a gentleman, Daniel Massimino. I'm sure I butchered. Well, I'm sure I didn't mispronounce it. I probably just didn't fucking know it. Fair. But Daniel is an entrepreneur, and he started a credit counseling company. So we're going to talk to him about that and marketing and things like that. A couple things that I did want to cover here for remotely entertaining, as we are trying to do a couple of different things right now. One of them that we are reaching out to business owners and or people that are looking for a job. Now, for business owners, what they have been doing with us is having an interview with me, and then we are kind of baking it down into 30 to 45-second clips that they can use as they see fit. Obviously, the whole interview that we do can be put up on a YouTube page or on your website or anything like that. And remember, Google owns YouTube. So having something on YouTube, especially if it's a dedicated business channel, that is one more way to tell Google, hey, here I am. Here's what I do. And I'm active. So that goes a long way. And the other thing with those clips, again, the business owner can use them as they'd like. They can run them as online commercials or even television commercials. They can embed them on their website, their social media, even in email signature. So there are a bunch of options for business owners. Because, I don't know that we ever got too far away from this, but I think that any in-person transaction, the person that owns the business has a lot to do with that. So by doing an interview and getting that out, that is a great way to connect with potential clients, or even existing customers. The state of marketing where it is today, marketing isn't just used to get new customers or attract new clients. It's used to remind your current customers, hey guys, we're still here. Remember last year when you bought a winter jacket? Guess what? It's winter again. So it is very important to keep in touch with your existing clients. And one of these interviews is a great way to do that. And again, to put your face, the business owner's face, onto the product. Just connecting one-on-one, it goes a long way. So if you are interested in hearing more about that, please feel free to reach out. And I'm going to put an email address here. 40 minutes probably with my typing. But no, that's it. So again, we have a couple of different options for business owners. We can do an interview. We can bake it down into 30 to 45 second clips. Create a YouTube channel for your business, put the whole interview up there, put the pieces up there. And again, that is yours. Once we're done with the editing, that video file is yours. We can also do an audio file, and you can do with it what you'd like at that point. The other thing that we're doing, very similar, but for people that are looking for a job. I have conducted interviews before, and I can tell you that I didn't read resumes a lot because they're all full of shit. When you're listing your work history, are you going to put, sitting in the interview, well, Mr. Burrows, I see you worked for Burger King for one day. What happened? Well, it was really funny. I took the job kind of as a dare, but I was fucking wasted my first day, but I still showed up and then I got fired. No, that's not going to go on the resume. Okay. So including a short video clip, they will watch that. So if you're looking for a job and haven't been able to really crack the code, so to speak, or maybe if you're just looking for a leg up, a way to separate yourself or make yourself stand out, this is a great option. Look, if you're thinking of going with one of those goofy fonts on your resume to make yourself stand out, this, I think, might be a better option. People do watch videos. So those are two of the things that we've got going for remotely entertaining. As always, we are looking for guests, whether it's people that are in the media or have a podcast, anything like that, or just someone who has an interesting story to tell. Because as we are all well aware, I'm out of interesting stories. So again, for those of you tuning in to see Justin, something came up at home, something urgent, and he needed to reschedule. I'm assuming that something urgent came up at 5:58. So, hopefully everything works out there. But that's why I'm talking to myself, because Justin's not here. But I hope everybody is staying well, staying safe, wearing a mask, or whatever it is that you do to stay safe. I'm about over the COVID. It was funny for a little bit, not all the people dying. That, of course, wasn't funny, but the mayhem and the people bitching about people bitching and all of that, it was interesting for a little bit, but I'm fucking over it. So hopefully we can turn the corner here at some point. I don't know what my level of confidence is that that's going to happen. And that's only because I don't understand. I try to read as much as I can, but it doesn't really seem like the scientists or doctors really have a solid grasp on, the disease, the vaccine, any of those things. And I guess it is important to keep in mind that we're not even, well, maybe we're a year into this. I believe the first case of corona was found last year on January 21st-ish. So we might be a year in, which in terms of science and things like that is nothing. So they're still kind of, I don't want to say making it up as they go along, but they're getting more information daily, which certainly has to make them change, what's been reported or what they've said in the past. And I know a lot of people will look at this and say, what? This guy said 6 months ago that wearing masks didn't help, but now he says they do. Well, right. As people get more information, they change their mind. Just like in the 50s and 60s when everybody would tell you that smoking, well, maybe they didn't say it was safe. I don't know. I was dead then. But they certainly know it doesn't cause cancer, this, that, and the other. And while that may have been a little bit different because they had financial incentive to obscure these potential harms, when it came out that cigarette smoking was dangerous, I didn't hear a lot of people saying, what? This guy's been talking for 10 years that... So there's that. And certainly, there is the mistrust of, well, anything and everything these days. And maybe in this case, that mistrust about COVID or things like that, maybe it does come from just the lack of information or the contradictory information that's been given. With the 24-hour news cycle and our inability to utter these 3 words in a row, I don't know, there has been a lot of misinformation. And while it may not have been intentional misinformation, it certainly has confused people. And when, you have people that you trust or people either in an official capacity or position that are issuing conflicting guidance or recommendations, it's not a very far leap to start embracing some of these, conspiracies or whatever. I mean, I've heard it all about COVID. It seems like, that it was 5G, which I don't understand. Like, I only hear the titles and I try to look into it. I'll say 5G COVID. I'm like, oh shit, and I'll check it out, but there's nothing after that. So, I mean, there might be causation, but there's not cause. The one thing that I haven't heard is that maybe COVID was introduced or whatever to fuck up the census, because it certainly did that. I mean, I don't know how they're going to use those numbers because nothing has gone according to plan for the last 9 months or so. And certainly the census is not going to be the only thing that went right. So, I don't know if someone is looking for a new conspiracy to either invent or latch onto, take that one. The Chinese invented COVID and sent it out to the world because they wanted to screw up the US Census. Why not? So I hope that everyone is having a good new year. I know it just kind of started, but it also seems like it's 4 months old. And again, I will be back here tomorrow for a show at 5 o'clock Eastern with Mark Gold. And I will be on the Site Hub platform channel on Friday at 3 o'clock, I believe, although it might be 4. Friday afternoon for sure, with Dan Massimino, who is an entrepreneur who started his own company, and they do credit counseling, I believe, credit card counseling, something like that. So if anybody would like to hear more about those products that I mentioned, about using an interview for advertising either yourself or your business, feel free to reach out to the email on the screen right now. That's me. And if not, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry for the abbreviated show, but I'll be back tomorrow, okay? And my voice should be in good shape. I could probably talk all fucking day. See you tomorrow.